Hey fam, what's up? This is Calm. How are you doing? How is everybody doing? Let me immediately post the link in the chat. Okay, so I have three links in the chat. So if you're joining me on Commodacity on Facebook or Commodacity on YouTube or hold on, let me double check something. Okay. Yeah, so if you're looking at the title, you see the question that we're asking tonight. Do you, and I'm not going to be really calling that S word because we have to be very careful with the terms that we use on social media nowadays. Everybody is very touchy and sensitive, and so you can get flagged for using some. To me, these words just shouldn't be getting flagged for using these words. These are just regular words that describe regular things that happen to people, right? But um, I'm going to I'm going to play by the rules so you can see the word, right? You see the word that we're talking about. STALK. Do you do this to your your ex lovers, to your friends that you grew up with? Um, you know, Facebook in particular, because we have been told that Facebook is for the older folks like myself, the grandmas and the grandpas. Facebook is for us, right? The younger folks will say, well, we're the Instagram generation or we're the TikTok generation. They're talking about themselves. And it's true. A lot of folks in my age group tend to stick to Facebook, right? So Facebook is where I became reconnected with so many people that I went to school with, people that I worked with, or people who I encountered donkey years ago. I have reconnected with them on Facebook, and for the most part, this has been a positive experience for me. Um, Although I noticed a kind of thing where um, I might see somebody reach out to me from the past. Maybe I used to go to primary school or I used to go to high school with this person. And they reach out to me and we're both excited, we share this excitement, we're reconnecting and we start remembering things, and it starts off like that. But then I find that what usually happens is I'm ghosted, and I need to look into I need to I need to get to the bottom of this as to why folks will come back into my life. They get all excited about reconnecting with me. um, we share fun memories to begin with, and then they just kind of withdraw into the background. I have my own theories about this, I could be wrong. So I would prefer if those persons explain to me this phenomenon. Why does this happen? But one of my theories is that they is either they're disappointed in the person who they now encounter compared to the person that they knew, or maybe they are confused as to how can this be the soft, sweet, delicate, the same soft, sweet, delicate child who I went to school with, this quiet, innocent, angelic child who I went to school with, or maybe they are outraged silently, they're keeping it to themselves, but maybe they are outraged. How could this happen? How could life allow this to happen? You know, I should, let me see if I find, let me see if I should really show you. Let me first of all see if I can find it. It will be what now? Let me see if I can find something. When I was little, when I was little, I was the most angelic. Oh, hold on. No, this is not it. This is not what I was looking for. No, that's not what I was looking for. Where did I keep it? Let me see something. Maybe it's too late to find it. Maybe it's too late to find it. But I wanted to show you a picture. I wanted to show you a picture of me when I was in primary school. You know what? I think I can still find it. I think I can still find it because let me see something. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Here it is. All right, let me see. Okay. So, what I would need to do now, what I would need to do now is to share my screen and see if I can find it. Um, feel good. Okay. So, this is the person we're talking about. This is the person that they are remembering, right? When they think of Kama Mahako. As a matter of fact, some of them wouldn't even know me as Kama Mahako, right? They don't know me. They don't know that name because that's not my birth name. That's not the name I had when I attended primary school. That's not the name I had even when I attended high school. So there might even be persons out there looking for me and can't find me because they don't know that I've changed my name. But some manage to find me, right? And this picture that you're looking at, that's the image they still have. This quiet, angelic, soft spoken, don't give any trouble in the world. That's the person they're still thinking. And so when they find me on Facebook and then they read my posts and they see the things that I share and they see the kinds of videos that I do, yes, they are confused or they're really disappointed or probably outraged. And maybe that's the reason why after a while they just withdraw into the background. They ghost me. It's like they're so terrified of this new person, this troublemaker, this person who says what's on her mind fearlessly. They're not used to this person. But all in all, um, Facebook is a good place. Facebook is a concept that I love, and I appreciate the fact that I have been able to reconnect with persons from the past. So instead of the S word, STALK, we're not going to use that word. We're going to use the word peep, right? We're going to use the word peep. I don't really peep on people that way. I generally go on my page and I scroll, and whatever turns up turns up. I don't go on other people's pages, to be honest with you. I don't leave my space, and this is just how I operate in life. I respect other people's space. It's rare when you would see me venture on somebody else's page and make a comment on top of that. That's rare. You have to really, the thing have to really hit home for me, strike me, or I have to know the person a certain way for me to even make a comment, right? That's how seriously I take this thing about people's space, respecting people's space, right? And there used to be a time when on my own page I would make posts, and I'm pretty much a very controversial person. The way I live my life is controversial, and my beliefs tend to go against the grain. I swim upstream most times. And so, yeah, a lot of persons would disagree. So when I would make my posts, not that I was making them necessarily to get response, but people would respond. And in the early years of me coming to Facebook, I would actually entertain conversation and debate, and we would have this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I used to enjoy that kind of thing because it sharpened me as it sharpened my skills, my debating skills, my skills of expression, how to express yourselves to get your point across. I enjoyed it. And my posts, because I'm a writer, my posts tended to be very long, and even my responses to people's comments tended to be very, very long. But it's something that I enjoyed, right? And I enjoyed how it sharpened me. It sharpened me. But then it got to the point where I was turned off, because you would be debating with someone, especially if the person was a Christian. The Christians especially seem to have a mental block when it comes to logic. They just cannot see beyond the dogma of their religion. And so you might be making a point, and you're presenting your evidence, or you're presenting your arguments, but they can't see outside of the Bible. And to me, after a while, it became very frustrating. And I made a decision that I would not entertain any more debates on my Facebook page. So even if I posted something that was controversial, and persons responded, or even asked questions, you would have to be a really special person to me for me to respond to it. I would just leave the comments there, just let them. And if somebody else wanted to address it, fine. But I was not going to argue. And this has been the case for about, let me see, that would be from about 2016 that I made that decision, or 2017, thereabouts. So about 6 years. I will make my posts, and you take of it what you wish. You can even leave your comments, but I don't generally respond. And that's a difference. That's an evolution in my life on Facebook. When I just joined Facebook, that was quite something. You see, I'm a person who I tend to resist technology. I'm not very techy. I will do it if I have to. I will maneuver and get things done. Like, I publish my books. They are self-published, and I'm the one who edit and design the covers and everything like that. So I know how to help myself in that respect. But generally speaking, I tend to resist technology, and I tend to resist the bandwagonism and things that everybody is jumping on. I tend to resist that. So when I was very late coming to Facebook, I was very late going to WhatsApp. I was very late going to anything that everybody is on. I was I was one of the last ones to come on. So people used to send me invitations to Facebook, just as with WhatsApp. I used to have this very archaic phone, and messages would come into the phone, and I wouldn't even, at first I didn't even realize. I was just hearing these beep beep beep, and I'm saying, what's that? But then I ignore it. And it's my auntie. My auntie came one day, and she heard the beep beep beep, the messages coming in, and she said, yeah, your messages are coming in. I said, what message? And these are just the regular messages that you get on your phone, right? At the time, I think they call them SMS messages. And she went into it and showed me this long line of messages that had been there for months coming in. That just shows you how archaic my thought processes were with regards to phones and devices and so on. And then, no, that same aunt was the one who introduced me to WhatsApp, and I resisted it until I finally joined WhatsApp. My sister-in-law kept sending me invitations to Facebook. So whenever, sometimes I go on my email, which is Hotmail. That time I was probably, everybody else leave Hotmail and gone to whichever other mail. I still have my Hotmail account. So my sister-in-law used to send me invitations on Hotmail. And one day I said, you know what, let me see. Let me click on it and see what this Facebook nonsense is all about. And so it led me to the page, the sign up page, and I created an account. And so when you create the account, then you start seeing, it starts showing you people that you might know, right? And so you start clicking and getting friends and so on. But I wasn't sure how this whole thing worked. I didn't know the difference between my home page and my what's the other page? You have your home page and your profile page or whatever. I probably still don't know the difference between them. So now I came upon the profile of one of my ex, and I clicked on it, right? But I didn't know how it worked. So in clicking on it, I was sending him an invitation, a friend request, right? Sending him a friend request. And he responded. So we became friends. But because I didn't know how this thing worked, what I did was I went on his profile and I was writing on his page, on his wall, thinking that I'm sending him a private message. Like, thinking that I'm sending him a private message, and not knowing that this would be going out to all of his friends. So on his wall, I wrote, I miss seeing you naked. Those are the words. I miss seeing you naked. And I remember he, very, very shortly after that, he sent me a message in my inbox saying, explaining to me, no, that's not how it works. You can't do that. Everybody's going to see it. Because we weren't together anymore, right? So clearly I moved on, he moved on, so he would have had someone in his life. And here I am writing on, and I was just playing around with him, right? Because that's the kind of situation we had. We could play around with each other like that, but definitely wouldn't want to cause any trouble in this man's life. So, immediately he had to take that down. So that was my entry to Facebook. That was how I made my grand entrance, making my entrance in my grand style on Facebook. And then I started reconnecting, and I honestly think there are some persons who, you ever get the feeling that there are people who blocked you before you even send them a request? Because I would search for people and just can't find them. And then I'm saying, I wonder if they proactively block me before I could even think. But in all honesty, though, I generally don't send out requests. I would say probably 98% of the connections that I have on Facebook, they were sent to me. To be honest with you, I don't, and this is, again, this reflects my personality. This is just how I live. I try not to infringe. I'm less likely to be the one who is going to make the move. I prefer for other persons to make the move. And so, yeah, most of my, right now I have almost 5,000 Facebook friends. Of course, as with everybody else, if you have 5,000 Facebook friends, you are not likely to know 4,950 of them, right? That's just how it is. Yeah, moments when you'll just be bombarded with requests from these strange places. And at the time, because I was promoting my books, I had the mistaken notion that, oh, the more requests I accepted, the more promotion I might get for my books, the more sales I might get for my books. That was not the case. So that's how I ended up with almost 5,000 friends. But all in all, um, the experience on Facebook has been good, right? Has been good. I don't go around peeping on people, but I am pleased. I'm very pleased when I see, just scrolling and you'll see things coming up with my girls, especially my girls from Holy Childhood High School, my high school girls, my 80s girls, and I see how they're just bossing it. I see how they're just conquering and they're going through life and they have achieved the goals that they set out. It pleases me so much. It pleases me so much, right? To see it was an all girls school. So talking about my 80s girls. And when I was at high school, I was very introverted, as I still am. So maybe a lot of these girls don't even realize that I was admiring them and rooting for them, and feel so good now to see them, because I was always in my little corner, just quiet and reserved, but very observant. And it's like I formed bonds in my mind with a lot of these girls, right? I wouldn't necessarily come on, and I wouldn't describe myself as shy. I wasn't shy. If I was called upon to speak, to represent, and I was very um, assertive in terms of my beliefs and so on. But it's just that I was reserved. I kind of kept to myself, right? But definitely, a lot of these girls who I went to high school with, I really did feel that bond with them, that sisterly bond. And the further you get from that point and the older you get, the more you feel the bond. And especially um when some of these girls who were all now in our late 40s, some of them actually have passed on. Like, I think earlier this year or late last year, one of my former classmates, she passed on, and she's somebody who she has always been so dear in my heart. I'm talking about Rovletta Fraser. I remember some years ago, I was looking at the Gleaner, the obituary in the Gleaner, and I actually saw two of my classmates side by side. Their pictures, they had passed on, and just coincidentally, they were side by side on the same page. These kinds of things make you put into perspective, you know, what life is really, how precious life is, and how fortunate we are when we are able to still be here, when we are still here and we're accomplishing. A lot of these girls, they, just looking at them now, looking at their lives and the things that they share, a lot of them are mothers now. They have their families, they have their spouses. A lot of these girls are so accomplished. They own their businesses, they're getting ahead in life, they're winning awards. Their children are now teenagers. Some of them have gone on, my own children have gone on to college. So I'm sure some of these women, because we're batchmates, so they have kids in college or they have younger kids who are coming up in life, and it pleases me so much. So that's the kind of peeping that I do. That's the kind of peeping that I do. Is the good kind of peeping. I'm not the kind of person who is going to go on my ex's page and snoop around, see what he's doing, and make comparisons. I know men and women who put themselves through so much heartache, so much pain, unnecessary pain, I would say, by going and peeping and comparing, looking at their ex's new spouse, new lover, and reading all the comments and looking at all the pics and making comparisons and putting yourself through stress. I'm not that kind of person. Before I do that, I block the person. You have people who I just stop notification from them. If you're a particular person who irritates me, or if the things that you post irritate me, I might not unfriend you, but I'll just stop notification so I don't see anything that you post. That's the kind of thing I would more be likely to do, and I've done that for many persons. Anything that's an irritant to me, I remove it. I'm not going to put myself through stress and looking at how this person is living and making comparisons and wanting to put myself out of my way to buy this or to go there or to do that, just because I want this person to see me. I want this person to think this, or I want this person to think that. That's just not me. And in terms of exes, as the saying goes, there are exes for a reason. And if I walked away from a situation, there's a reason for walking away from that situation. I'm not going to walk away until I am sure that it is done and over with. So once that has happened, I will not be the one who is going to go back and wallow in vomit, or even care to know who is that person seeing, where is that person going, what is that person doing. No, that's just not me, right? That's just not me. So how do you respond to the people from your past when you're scrolling and you see them pop up, you see what they're doing? Do you get jealous? Do you feel sad? Be honest with yourself. Do you feel sad? Do you feel happy for these persons when do you share in their joy? I love to see people happy. I love to see people progressing. I love to see people getting on with life and being champions in life, and taking life by the horns and getting married, traveling. I love to see these things. I'm always the one who's going to be hearting, click the heart, click the like when I see these kinds of things. And also when you see people going through trials, when you see them going through challenging times, when you see that they have lost someone, you tend to share in that experience with them too. There are persons who I met them on Facebook. and I've known them now for years through Facebook. Maybe have never met them in real life, but they have really become my friends. And so I share their joys, I share their sorrows with them, right? And as I'm scrolling and I see things come up, even if I'm not going to comment, I might, whether you're going to click sad face, the happy face, the love face, the like face, even the angry face, sometimes if it warrants it, right? So it all depends on you. Why are you on Facebook? What does it do for you? I know someone who I don't think I was shocked, but it really kind of, I was probably, what's the word? I was disgusted. I wasn't shocked. I was disgusted. Hi, Shan. This person was telling me, right, that he said, and he said it so casually. He said, I think at the time he had reached 5,000, and Facebook has I think, I don't know if they still have that policy, but at the time Facebook had a policy where they wouldn't allow you on your regular page to have more than 5,000 friends. And what I realized this person was doing was he was just sending out friend requests left, right, and center just to be able to say, I have 5,000 friends. He's that kind of person, right? These things matter to him, the status and so on, to be able to say, even though you don't know these persons. So he had reached his max of 5,000. And he said to me, about 300, believe me when I tell you, I'm not making this up. You're here for pure entertainment and distraction. Nothing is wrong with that. It's all here for you, Shan. Believe me when I tell you, this guy said to me, about 300 of the women on my page are my exes. It's like he was collecting. You have this saying, somebody goes around collecting hearts. And he would say to me, like he was working at a particular company, and he would date one woman from every department, or he would date several women from one department. And to him, this was a matter of pride to be able to do this and to be able to set the women against each other and see who is vying to ride in his car today, or who is backbiting another one because of him. It gave him pleasure. Of course, we know this is narcissistic behavior, right? Narcissistic behavior. Facebook for him, this kind of toxicity, for him, Facebook is the place for him to go and look at all the profiles in his friends list and check all the ones that he has slept with. And that gives him a perverse kind of pleasure. Yeah, over 300 women. Slut. You have male sluts, You have female sluts and you have male sluts. And he's one of the male ones. It gave him pride and joy. Scroll through his friends list and say, oh, I slept with that one, I slept with that one, I slept with that one, I slept with that one. I turned that one against that one because I slept with the two of them. Right? And I guess for other persons, This is what Facebook is for them, to be able to look at your exes, and it's a matter of conquest. I conquered her, or I conquered him, or I'm able to have them in my inbox and lead them on, string them along. So you're telling yourself, I still got game, I still got it. People have just some really toxic behaviors. They do it in real life and they do it here on social media. It carries over. It carries over. Right? And they actually do peep on people. As I said, I'm not going to call it the S word, but that's what they do. They wake up every morning and they go on people's pages to see, what is he doing now? What is she doing now? Where has she been? Let me see the pics, where she traveled to, what she planning. And that's why some people will tell you, be careful of what you post. Be careful of where you're going and who you're telling where you're going. All right, so Shan is saying, I don't follow up nobody. I literally left my regular page and created this one. Once I got divorced, them get too fast, right? People just fast in your business. Them just fast, and they might even like your thing. Sometimes they like it or leave a comment just so that they're able to be notified if somebody else comment on it. It's a way of tracking it. So it's like they leave their mark so they can follow up. And you have persons who they're following you, they're literally peeping on you, but they're there in the background. And sometimes you even forget that they're there. That they may have sent you a friend request, you totally forget about them. And you might see them on the road and they say, oh, I saw you post this and that, or I hear that you're doing so and so. And you're saying, oh, you know that about me? Oh, I saw it on your page. They are following you, they are tracking you, they are watching you. You just don't know. And rarely will they even like what you post or comment on what you post. So just because you don't see them liking or commenting, it doesn't mean that they're not watching what you are doing. Right? They are silent observers. They are silent observers. And lo and behold, they know every move that you're making. Today I saw one of my Facebook friends, and well, I didn't go up to her and introduce myself, but we kind of had this communion. Like, we saw each other. I think we both recognized each other, but we didn't say anything to each other. But I was pleased to see her because from following her story, I realized that she got married recently. And she's somebody who I have been following for a while. Whenever I see her post, like I said, I don't go on people's page, but you'll see while you're scrolling, you see the stories. And she's a proud mother. She's a dedicated mother, dedicated worker. And I was so happy to see that she got married over the weekend. And like I say, I ran into her today. Right? These kinds of things I love to see. I'll just and then I might run into persons or have conversations with persons, and I will mention something, and they're saying, how you remember that, or how you even know that. I was talking to one of my Facebook friends last year. She signed up for my class, right? And I said to her, I remember when she was pregnant, and when her daughter was born, she gave her daughter a particular name. And I was following her straight through her pregnancy, rooting for her, liking her pics and all of that. And so when she delivered the baby, she gave her daughter particular. As a matter of fact, when the baby was still in her womb, she gave her a nickname. I'm not gonna say what the nickname is, but I remember the nickname. It was special to me, and she explained why she give her child that nickname. And years pass, years, like 4 or 5 years pass, and she reached out to me on WhatsApp to ask about my class. And just like that, I said to her, how is, and I use the nickname, I use the daughter's nickname, how is so and so? And she said, it's like she was so shocked. She's saying, how is it that you even remember something like that? How is it that it can be so special to you that you remember my daughter, the nickname that I gave to my daughter so many years ago, and I've not been on Facebook for so long? I say, yeah, these things mean something to me. When I single out people, I don't know them, but because of their story and how I've followed them over the years, and I single them out and they become special to me, I will remember things like this. I'll remember information that you post, not for any nefarious reason, for very positive reasons. It's a bond that I share with a lot of you guys on my page. I share a bond with you that not even you realize, right? Shan says no one here knows her in real life and she loves it that way. There are persons who I met them on Facebook and we developed a bond. We developed a bond. And some of them I still have never met them. Still have never met them. But the bond is there, right? And I will remember special things about them that they would never dream that I even notice it to begin with, let alone to remember it, right? I love to see people living and being happy and going after their goals and accomplishing things. Just doing their thing. That makes me happy. It makes me happy, and I love to see my friends from all age school, high school, people who I used to work with, not my students, because I don't allow my students onto my page. Any student of mine who is on my page, they got in by default. I don't allow my students on my page. But even some parents whom I taught their kids, a lot of parents are on my page. And I share in your joy, I share in your accomplishment. And I know that person share in my joys and my accomplishments as well. So all in all, it's a positive thing. For me, social media, I use it in a positive way. There are many negative things about social media. It all depends on, are you gonna use it or you're going to let it use you, and how. Just as with anything else, there is good to get from it and there is bad to get from it. I use social media for good and it has benefited me tremendously. I've learned so much. I have learned so much. I have grown. Social media has been a major part of my growth and my development, my intellectual development. It all boils down to what you associate with, what you take from it, which pages you like, which pages you follow. If you want to develop yourself intellectually, you're going to follow the pages where people are having deep intellectual conversations and talking about issues and breaking it apart, unpacking it. And so you learn how to have these discussions. You learn how to express yourself. You learn how to have solid opinions and be able to defend them. If you only expose yourself to negativity, if you only expose yourself to gossip, if you only come on Facebook to go on people's pages to spy on them, to see what they're doing and where they're going and who they're going with, if that's all you spend your time doing, that's the experience you're going to have, and you're going to be miserable, and you're going to be depressed. You're going to compare yourselves to people who themselves are pretending. A lot of them are pretending. If you're still in touch with your exes on social media, I mean, we are adults, so you can still be friends. In my opinion, you can still be friends with your exes, particularly if you share children, particularly, right? But just remember, they are exes for a reason. You, at some point in your life, you made a decision that what they had to offer was not what you wanted. And so you moved on. So accept that you moved on and let it stay like that. Don't dwell on it. Don't let it become toxic. Don't be going back over into this person's space and wanting to dominate their life and wanting to be vindictive and wanting to prove something to them and wanting to make their life miserable. No, just let it go. And if you see them and they're thriving and they're happy and they have a healthy relationship with someone else, be happy for them. Be happy for them, right? And your friends who you went to school with, whatever you had, whatever differences you had, maybe on a fight in the past, maybe on used to cuss on one another, maybe on used to throw a word and say on and come out to nothing. If you see them and they're thriving, be happy for them. Be happy that you are still both here, alive, because many are not. And sometimes, sometimes you see people who you grew up with. And I remember particular kids who I grew up with, and people used to say negative things about them. People used to say, oh, they're ugly, or they're this, or they'll never amount to anything. And I look at them now and I'm so proud of them for what they have become. Yeah, some of the ugly ones, they have grown into their beauty. They have grown into their individuality. They have outgrown the poverty-stricken conditions that they were born into. A lot of them have championed. They have risen to the top, and I'm so proud. And they're walking now in their beauty. The beauty of the self-made man, the beauty of the self-made woman. Yeah, we all know this term self-made. A lot of people say there's no such thing as a self-made woman or man. I tend to disagree. Right? There are people who are coming from the doldrums, the dregs, the wastebasket, and they are now in a place where they can stand on their own, they are confident, and they're blazing trails, and I am proud of them. And I'm glad for the opportunity that social media presents where we can reconnect with each other. We don't have to be up in each other's faces all the time, right? We don't have to be, you can just, Facebook allows you to be able to watch from a distance, to admire from a distance, and just be happy for the person. The person don't even have to know, right? But if you decide to comment on their status, if you decide to share, let it be positive. As the granny used to say, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing. Right. So that's where I'm going to leave you tonight. Tomorrow, as usual, we'll have another topic. All right, so this is where we're leaving it for tonight, my Facebook friends. I'm happy to have been able to share the experience with you on Facebook. For those who also follow me on YouTube, because I'm all over. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, I'm on all, even though I tell you that I resist technology, I know how to handle myself and I still have a presence there. Definitely on YouTube, I have a massive presence, and I appreciate those who follow me and who learn from me and who also teach me. All right, so until tomorrow night, same time, same place. This is Calm. Take care, and thank you, Shan, for being my company tonight. Thank you to all the others who were joining on Facebook, on YouTube. I'll see you tomorrow.